Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for all of the comments and messages. In my last video, I shared with you what is a doula giver. A doula giver is a non-medical holistic practitioner that cares for those at the end of life, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. I also told you about how this can be your chance to find your calling, your purpose, and to change the world and to be part of something so much greater than just yourself. Hi, my name is Suzanne O'Brien. I am a registered nurse that has worked most of my nursing career in hospice care, which is end of life care, or oncology, which is cancer care. And I have to tell you that I have been honored and privileged to work with over 1,000 patients at the end of life. This work has changed my life. And so many of the doula givers who come to our training, they come to learn how to be these beautiful non-medical holistic practitioners to care for those at the end of life and care for their families. And they report that they themselves have the greatest transformation. And that is what is, again, so beautiful. When you work in this holistic space, it teaches you everything about how to live and how to live fully from the wisdom from those at the end of life. The things, the pearls that we learn, there are so many gifts within this space. It is so beautiful. So it is such a transformational training for not only helping others, but for the doula givers themselves. In fact, one of our graduates said in this training that it was so incredibly amazing that for her personally, if she never worked with one client, it was still worth every single penny. What a beautiful compliment is that? Anyone can do this work. You do not need a medical background. Anyone can do this work if you have the calling. And right now, I am going to share with you how you can understand the techniques we teach in Doulagivers and how you too can be an end of life doula giver. We have the Doulagivers 3-phase of end of life care model. So 3 phases: the shock phase, the stabilization phase, and the transition phase. And then we teach the doula givers the interventions to use in each one of those phases. Now, this is the foundation of the training, and it is, again, incredible. Then, on top of that, we also will teach you the technique of using the 3 questions. And if you only ask these 3 questions every time you're on a visit, you will be a phenomenal end of life doula. You're going to learn so much more in this training, but the 3 questions, what are they? Number 1, are there any acute issues? What is an acute issue? An acute issue is, you can also think of it as an immediate need. An acute issue is something that needs to be rectified right away. Pain would be an example. Exhaustion would be an example. Nausea is an example. Those are, again, great examples of acute issues. The second question we ask is, are there any safety concerns? Because there are 2 things that are always going to happen in the end of life process that are safety issues. Number 1, the person one day will not be able to stand and or walk. And number 2, the person will not be able to swallow. And both of these are huge safety issues that, with good, again, assessment and symptom management, we can prevent something really awful from happening. And the third question is, what is the support system? Because we know that end of life cannot be done by one person, and it should never be done by one person. And so we want to make sure that there's enough support for this patient and the caregiver, and that we're rotating the support system, because it's very easy for people to get burnt out very quickly in this phase. We only have one opportunity to have end of life go well, and I always say time is not on our side at the end of life. And so for the doula givers to be able to walk into any situation, identify what phase of end of life that patient is in, and then to ask the 3 questions so that you can support with acute issues, with safety issues, and with the support system. You will be a phenomenal end of life doula. In fact, we had a doula who had just graduated and she got her first patient, and that's always a time to celebrate. And her name is Terry, and she came on one of our weekly meetings. She was so full of excitement and she couldn't wait to share. And she came on that meeting and she was so, again, full of just this light all around her. And she said, I had my first patient, and she goes, I walked into the house and I knew exactly what phase they were in, and I knew what to do to help this family. And there was no better feeling than to be able to do that, because again, we can't go back and do that over. We have one opportunity at end of life. So please know that anyone with the heart to be of service and the calling for this can do this work. One of the main questions that I often get is, Suzanne, what is the difference between the Doulagivers training and other end of life doula trainings? And this is such a great question, and I love this question. Now, let me first say that there are wonderful trainings out there, and there are wonderful trainers, and we need them all. This movement is still in its infancy. It's just beginning, and we have so many people to serve. So we need them all. Now, I have been told by many of our students who've cross-trained and trainers themselves that Doulagivers is in a category by itself of being a non-medical holistic practitioner due to all of the medical training that's within it. We will cover medical terminology, the top 10 end-of-life disease processes, and common medications used at the end of life. We also educate you on knowing the nuances and the progressions of end-of-life disease processes so that you can be the eyes and the ears for the mainstream medical team at the very first sign of significant changes. This is the answer to a struggling medical system. Non-medical, holistic practitioners supporting patients, families, and also the medical staff. Doulagivers are holistic, non-medical practitioners with an end-of-life doula training within it. And that is what really sets this program apart from others. And again, there are wonderful trainings and we need them all. Now, 2 very important pieces of advice that I will always give you when you are thinking of doing this work and want to find a training. When you are looking for training, number 1, find out who the trainer is. What is their background? The training will usually be a reflection of their prior experience working in end-of-life care. And make sure you like them and that you connect with their teaching style. You will be spending a lot of time listening to them. You want to make sure that it is a good fit. You're investing your time and your money. And number 2, look at the curriculum and make sure that it matches what you want to learn. Now, there's no governing body overseeing end-of-life doulas. So end-of-life doula trainings are all very different in their curriculum. And that is important for you to do your homework to make sure that curriculum matches what you want to learn and how you want to practice. End-of-life is not textbook. And there is not one end-of-life that I have been with that has been the exact same as another. Having a thorough and solid educational foundation for being a doula giver is the best thing you can do to prepare yourself and to be of the highest service to your patients and their families. It is an honor to be in this space. In my next video, I am going to share with you how and why it's important to find your unique gift, your specialty within the doula work. And it's absolutely amazing. So please, if you have a question or a comment, write it below. I am going to do my best to answer each and every one of them personally, and I will get back to you. I would love to hear from you. I want to hear the feedback. I want you to share with me what is important to you and what you want to know. And if you found this video valuable, please share it with others. We are in a time where positive change is about to be made, and made for each and every person. Thank you so much. Leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next video.